trying a different approach here. Keep kind of work over the making of the videos. So today we're going to go back and touch on what we said a little bit yesterday because apparently I jumped ahead a little bit. It says Yisboyer the Shorish Kof Daled Elef Talmidim. Explain here now the root of the 24,000 Talmidim. Umahatzirufim Shalamochin the Kantas Elokem. Somehow combinations of these 5 letters, which we said yesterday, each one of them has 120 parts, or we could divide it into 5, there are 5 different, 120 combinations of 5 letters. Each one of them can be divided into 5 parts. There are 5 begins with Aleph, 5 begins with Lamed, and so on and so forth, and they mix themselves around until there are 120 of them. That's the mathematical certainty. So he said, Ve'elo ha'esrim v'arba elef talmidim, these 24,000 talmidim, kulam hoibe b'chinas the kaf dalet sirufim. What do they actually represent? If 5 into 120, as we said yesterday, is 24. These are the tzirufim rishonim shal Elokim harishon. For the very first Elokim begins with an Aleph. There are 24 Alephs there. Shebe'itra de gevura hamispashet begufa dezah. This comes from the crown, what he calls the crown of gevura, which is the shorish inside of das that has to do with the gevuros, which we have said previously that the gevuros, each one of them is an Elokim. That is actually the letters that make up the gevuros. Remember that the letters, as we're trying to understand this and get a good grip on this, the letters are kalim, which are able to absorb and also to transmit in a filtered state the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So if you go back farther enough to be able to see the manifestation of Rabbi Akiva, we see just in the Aleph, the way the Aleph is written in the particular name that refers to him, it teaches you a lot about where the light is coming from. So he says in Mispash Begufa, the Bekulam Mischilos Baos Aleph. So the first 24, all of them are Aleph with the Lam and Aleph with the K, and so on and so forth, going back and forth. Ki Aleph Hakol Echad. Were you talking about an Aleph or an Aleph? It's still the same. It's the same letters. Now, there is something about the Nekudos and what they sound like. But on the other hand, that's not what we're saying here. Gamzul is there. Now also, besides this, Noidaki Shem Elokim B'milui Hein B'rivua. Now we have to go over this now. Ola B'gematria Elef. There's another way that you could do this. You could see that the name Elokim itself, and we have like, say, the Elokims being divided up into 24 combinations, comes out to be, if you use the Milui, the Rivua of the Milui, this will get you to also 1,000. So that therefore we have 2 different ways that we understand 24 and and the number 1,000. So let's see what the Rav says. We have a little bit of explanation to be able to understand this. The first thing is what is a milui. We talked about a milui before. Now the milui means you have a shorish, which is with just the name, let's say Elokim. But you could spell the name Elokim, which is 5 letters, Aleph Lamed Fei, Lamed Mem Daled. In this case, I think it's KK, and then it's Yud Vav Daled, and Mem. That's the way you could spell it. It's always spelled that way. Only the letters that switches is the K in the middle. It could be K Yud, KK, or K Aleph. So what happens here is that that's called the milui of the name Elokim. It has a gematria. It's somewhere near 300. It depends on which one that you use. Now you could take the rivua of that. What is a rivua? First of all, the milui means a degeneration of light. So the light in its shorish is going to be just a simple name Elokim. But as it starts spreading into the body, then you start seeing that it's looking bigger, it's bigger. In other words, there are more letters to it. That's the milui. And as you're transmitting it someplace else, it could go into Ravua stage. Now, the best way to understand the Ravua is the word Nachman. Nachman. That is actually the Ravua of the name of Rebbe Nachman. That idea is that the Ravua is a bridge from the Chitzonius, or what we call the Chitzonius of the upper parsha, another place where the light is greater, through a revua which limits it to the panemius of the next part. So because we have a rule that whatever was the outside most gross part of the upper light is going to be panemi to the whatever is going to be next down the chain. Now this is a concept of a revua. Now you want to maybe review the revua. So I'll tell you what it looks like because I'll read the tib over here. This is going on the page Kuf Peches, and the light print. He says like this: Tam Sheni, a second reason why this works. Madua Hoya Misparim Kaf Dalet Aleph, why they were 24,000. Why not 24,999 like I said? So he says Aleph. Kevin Shorsham Koya Mechagavuros the Das Shehem Shem Eloken. Now we had said before that in Das of Katniss, all the Chasadim and all the Gavuros are Shem Elokems. V'rivua Shem Elokim b'milui hey. So using a rivua, taking the hey that's in the middle of the Elokim and spelling it KK. Olam Mispar Elef like this. This is how it comes out to be 1,000. Aleph Lamed Fei. So that's the first part. Aleph Lamed Fei, Lamed Mem Dal, just like Na, Nach, Nachma, Nachman, Meuman. So he says Aleph Lamed Fei, Lamed Mem Dalet KK, because we have a double K that's how we're spelling hey here. Aleph Lamed Dalet KK Yudvav Dalet. And then finally Aleph Lamed Fei, Lamed Mem Dalet KK Yudvav Dalet Mem Mem. That's going to give that adds up to be 1,000. So now you have the 24 combinations, and you have the name itself. Inside the name itself means Aleph. And since their root is in these 24, let me see, the words are Hoya Bispar. So he said, so since there are 24 combinations that you could make with this name, Elokim, we have an Elokim in a transmittal form, which we call the Revua of its already spread out, Miloi. So since we have that we see that this is moving into the Guf of the Zah, so therefore we have Kaf Dalet, which is a combination of the number of combinations of the Aleph, and we have also the Aleph, which is contained in the name Elokim. So now we're going to say another one, and we're getting closer to the secret of Lag BaOmer. Let's explain the reason why they weren't nice to each other. Why didn't they? The actual language of the Gemara is that they did not accustom themselves to be in a kavadika way. It's a little hard to understand what that means. But Tam misasam daika biyamim elu. And then specifically, why did they die during these days? So he says, the Rav writes like this: but the sivasi yosim b'mochan dekatnas. Now, what's Mochen Dekatnas like? Mochen Dekatnas is our normal way. We're in business. We're at home. We're in defensive because things are coming at us. We want to be peaceful. We want this to be this. We have to deal with all the problems that are in our lives. This is Katniss. This is what Katniss is normally like. So this is the way that we are in our normal state. What we seek is godless. So he says, but the Sivasi Yosim and Mochen de Katniss. So since they are Mochen de Katniss, and what does Katniss mean? Comes Elokems. Elokems are punishment. So therefore they were the aspect of very hard, strong dinim. And they argued a lot. And they hated each other. That's what they say when the rabbis say that they didn't accustom themselves in a kavadika way in between each other, because they were all in each other's way, because they couldn't see exactly. They knew what they wanted, but the vision was very limited, because Katniss is a limited vision. We only see the dangers, so therefore we're always moving, and this is our natural way. But godless, which we pray for, is perspective. To be able to see how that Hashem is running the world. And so the time of Omer came. Shebein Pesach Lotzeres, between now and Shavuos. She'oz Koy Zaman, who Zaman Katna Zah. This is the time when God Zah is only in Katniss. V'hem yemei hadin kinizgar, and as a result of that, it's a punishing time. V'oz hu zman yanika sachitzainim. It's a time when the bad guys, that is all the false ideas, all the adventure, all the things that Goyim run after, all the sexual different kinds of concepts that they have, everything that the world that we live around, that lives around us, is running after. That's Yanika Sachitzainim. Yanika means it's sucking off of Kedusha, the Kitzainim, and this is a defensive time because they're out there. Indian attack. L'chein paga bechem az midas adin. So therefore, since they're in the middle of this din, and they're not doing anything to be able to protect themselves, or they because they lack perspective, maybe they don't know what they need. Just need the other guy to get out of his way. So az midas adin shal katnas al shalom nagu ka b'zeh. So therefore, they ran into the midas of din, because if you keep going with katnas, and this is the way that it's going to be, you're going to be looking at dinim all the time, you're going to get smacked. And that's what happened. So it's a symbol that they died, these 24,000. What is the Gevuros that we said before that was Paspashe into the goof of the Zer Anpen? They died at this time. Bihiyosam Katanim. Because they could never gain perspective to see what they were doing, and as a result of that, they died. They didn't reach a place where they could actually grow. And to have long lives, the Sivach and Nizkeres, for the reason that we've mentioned. Now, next time we're going to start getting into actually what is the difference. So let's just look a little bit about over the course of time. So we see that Rabbi Akiva is really the source of this. But we don't talk about Rabbi Akiva all that much. I mean, it's not that we don't at all. But the fact is that we're really talking about his Talmidim all the time. We're talking about Rabbi Shimon, who is the person who, as we know, he's the author of the Zohar. So we're talking about all of these things that have flowed out of his Talmidim, but that's because he's still benimi to that. He's covered over by them. Because they, in fact, represent the change from katnas to godless. And we'll see that as we go on. Thank you.